Hello friends, today we will solve the 13th problem of our tutorial series on dynamic programming, which is partition equal subset sum. This problem is also present in lead code and we'll solve it here. So let's go with the problem statement. So we have been given a non-empty array of nums. So it's guaranteed that it's non-empty. It would be having at least one number. So I think here is in the constraints as well, that the nums length would be at least one, and they are all positive. I mean, not only positive, but it's always between 1 and 100. So we are given a non-empty array nums containing only positive integers. Find if the array can be partitioned into two subsets such that the sum of elements in both subsets is equal. Sum, okay. So let's look at the example here to make it understand better. So here we are given an input of nums with 1, 5, 11, and 5. So we have to find a partition. We have to divide this nums array into two arrays so that the sum of each of the array is equal. So we have to just return whether it's possible or not. If we cannot divide into two subsets or two arrays having equal sum, then we have to return false. So for this condition, the answer is already given that this array can be divided into two arrays of 1, 5, and 5, giving a sum of 11. 5 plus 5 plus 1 is 11, and the second array of 11 itself. So we can see that if we add all the array elements in this, so it would be 11 plus 11, 22, right? So it means that because the number is even, which means that there's a possibility that we can divide it into two arrays of 11 and 11. So let's see for the another example when we don't have the sum of as an even. So in the second example, it's given that 1, 2, 3, and 5, right? So if I add all these numbers, 5 plus 3, 8, 8 plus 2, 10, and 11. So 11 is an odd number. So it means that we cannot divide this into two arrays. It's not possible to have like 5.5 plus 5.5, right? Because we have to only deal with positive integers. So that's why we have to return false here. So there's like one very like generic condition that whenever we find this array and we make the sum of it, we calculate the sum of it of all the elements, and if the sum is odd, it means that we can immediately return it as false. Only when the sum is an even number, only then we can check whether it's able to partition or not. If it's odd, if it's an odd number, then we can simply return false. Okay, so this is the problem statement, and then in our next video we'll solve it using dynamic programming approach. But before that, let me also explain that it's a very classic problem. Partition problem is a very classic problem in computer science, and it's as we discussed in lead code, that is the task of deciding whether a given multiset S of positive integers can be partitioned into two subsets, S1 and S2, such that the sum of the numbers in S1 equals the number of sum of numbers in S2. And there are also some other cases using the same, that we can also partition a subset, a set into two subsets, such that the difference between the sums is minimum. This is another like variation of this problem. And as mentioned, that is a very classic problem, and it has got applications as well. For example, if I check in the Wikipedia, I can see that one application of the partition problem is for manipulation of elections. So yeah, this is what we can see. That it has got application as well. You can go on your own and see what are the other applications that you see for this problem. In the next video, we will see that how to solve this problem using bottom-up dynamic programming approach. So see you in the next video.